is the Bishop's Lydeard allotments. I used to live in Derby Way, and when we bought the house, it said on the deeds that the previous owners of the land was the almshouse allotments, so they must have stretched from the allotments here right to Derby Way, which is half a mile away. This part of the allotments here, the lawn, used to be individual gardens for each of the residence places across there. They were all allotted one piece of garden, and they were expected to grow their own stuff for their own use. Nowadays this is the leisure area. It is maintained, the grass is maintained by the trustees, but the borders and the water feature, they're all, we look after that ourselves. Doreen down there, she is the head gardener, knows everything. She's very bossy and she tells us all what to do concerned with the garden, but she does know what she's doing, and she knows all the Latin names of the plants.
The cottage garden, it's got a few roses in. Marigolds will be coming up and we're looking gorgeous in a week or two's time. The background is all from seed, and the rhododendrons in a special pot because we haven't got the right soil here in the garden for it. A wildflower garden, which I'm now stripping, is has been really good. The blackcurrant, yeah, it's got to be cut back because it's getting a bit old, and the gooseberry is also getting a bit old, needs to be cut back. And we've still got some stuff like rosemary, horseradish, rhubarb around the edges, and we fill the rest up with our wildflowers.
I grow enough tomatoes in here to keep everyone going down the almshouses, and I'm still got loads over. It's a lovely old greenhouse. It's over 40 years old, and it's been moved from where I used to live in Taunton to out here with only one pane of glass was broken, which was, I thought, was rather a good idea. Here is where Doreen brings her early plants on to plant out in the garden and that, and then she lets me have my greenhouse back and I put the tomatoes in. The leaf curl is normal for this time of year. As you can see, all the tomatoes have been picked. I haven't got one here to show you, but this one here turns black, and it's got a black skin. It's the most beautiful fleshy plant. It grows to that size, almost like, you know. This is Stan and his wife Hilda. If you like Coronation Street, you'll know where the names come from. The scarecrows are so designed that the slightest puff of wind ruffles the straw that is their arms and hair and legs, which is enough to scare the pigeons away. So these are a couple of sunflowers which weren't planted, they just seeded themselves. You can see we've got a few more to come out on here, but this one, he's got a little cover over it. That's for when the seeds drop off, they won't be going in the garden to reseed, but we'll be able to put them on the bird table for the birds to eat. This part here might look like a very untidy, weed covered place, but it's not. It's any old packets of seeds and a few left or anything, I've just thrown them on there, and then a couple of weeks time, or maybe before, I should dig all the green stuff in, and then that will act as a green manure for the plants that are going in there next year. The tunnels have got purple sprouting ready for next year, but if you don't put the tunnels over it, the butterflies get in there and lay their eggs, and we have a plague of caterpillars, so that do that. But I'm very kind, I leave one at the end out for the butterflies to lay their eggs on, and then all you have to do is go and rub the eggs off the back of those leaves down there. So hopefully it will save all the other plants. Like, you know, carrots are really nice this year, and the leeks are good. The French beans have been brilliant, courgettes, and that has been the basis of a lot of the chutney that I've made, tomatoes and courgettes. This here is a special hydrangea. It's used to grow in a pot, and only 2 flowers came up last year, but the flowers were as big as footballs. So I decided to put it there, and it starts off a brilliant white, which is almost gone now, but then it goes a green colour and stays for another 2 or 3 months as a sort of green flower before the seeds fall off, and it'll be there now, and hopefully in 5 years' time it'll be up there and out there. For the allotments, it's been a very disappointing year. It's only 1 year in many. I doubt whether we'll get another one in my lifetime, drought like that. And I never knew, I was there for 30 years, I never knew conditions like this. They were, you know, the early potatoes were like little marbles, and things are picking up a bit now, and hopefully there'll be a few things. We won't starve during the winter. This is the path that will take us to the bottom of the 16 allotments that are here. These allotments has probably been used the same time as the allotment's been up there, which is the best part of 400 years. This garden here and the top half of the one there is run by the Green Days club, which is situated in the village, and it's used as a sort of educational patch. There's volunteers come, and the people who attend there, they come over and do most of the work, but they are a real asset to the allotments. Raspberries grow particularly well here. Here's a particularly good example of raspberries. You see the lady has eaten them all. These are, I think, autumn raspberries. Funny thing about autumn raspberries, the birds will not come and eat autumn raspberries, whereas in the spring, if you don't cover them, they will gorge on the lots. I think it's probably because more often than not the berry grows underneath the leaf on the autumn ones, but tends to grow on the stem on the spring ones. But that's only a theory of mine. Rhubarb is the most prolific thing growing in any of the gardens. I think if you walk all the way down through, you'll find everyone got rhubarb there, and everyone seems addicted to rhubarb crumbles. So. Carrots grow well here, but it's probably because the soil, after being worked for that long, is very fine. In a good year, there's usually a surfeit of runner beans. With all the rain, they should swell out a bit now, and hopefully we will have a decent crop of them. We've had a few, but they have been a bit disappointing this year, mainly due to the drought and also the absence of bees to pollinate them. They usually go to these flowers, and while they're looking for the nectar, they pollinate the other ones, but there have been really very few I've seen here this year. You could probably count them on one hand. There's been a few wasps, but normally there's loads of bumblebees around here, but I haven't seen one this year. Potatoes also seem to do very well down here. Apart from that, myself, I've found that brassicas are not the best of growers here. Like, you know, I put it down to it being so open and so many butterflies around that caterpillars eat them all before they get a chance to mature. Everything is not vegetables in the garden here. This chap, he's got an allotment and a half, and so he uses this one to grow flowers, but he really is a good gardener, and they really are lovely flowers. All this lot in here used to be just wild brambles, and one of our residents up there said, is it okay if I tidy up down the bottom? And this is the result of it. Like, you know, he spent many hours here, and he's really achieved a lot. Behind there, there's a lady who has horses, and she arranges whenever it is available to tip the horse manure over the fence for use of the people from the allotments. They can just go and help themselves. That's a quick tour of the allotments, the good and the bad. I think you'll agree that there are lots of various ways of people run their allotments, but they get enjoyment from it, and they've been here 400 years, and I just hope that they'll be another 400 years, and they don't do anything silly like building houses out there and bringing them across into here. We just have to keep our fingers crossed.